Hello and welcome to the first episode of French History Tales, a new sister channel to Irish History Tales. In this series, we'll journey through one of the most transformative periods in European history, the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. We'll explore the clash of empires and ideals, and of course I'm going to tie it all back to the pivotal 1798 Irish Rebellion. If you're as fascinated by this period of history as I am, you can join me for my French history course at Black Rockford Education Institute in Dublin. We offer both on-site and online classes, and you can find more information and sign up using the link in my profile. Let's begin with life in France prior to the revolt and explore some of the causes that led to the revolution. And I'm going to begin our tale with King Louis XIV, famously known as the Sun King. King Louis XIV was born in the year 1638 to King Louis XIII and Queen Anne of Austria. He was only 4 years old when he ascended to the throne, and his parents were famously depicted alongside their chief minister, Cardinal Richelieu, in Alexandre Dumas's famous novel, The Three Musketeers. Too young to rule himself, his mother served as regent, and Richelieu's replacement, Cardinal Mazarin, served as his chief minister. While still a child, Louis XIV would have had to have contended with the Fronde rebellions, a series of noble-led uprisings that sought to limit the power of the throne. Even though these rebellions were put down, they had a lasting impact on Louis XIV. When Mazarin died in 1661, the 22-year-old Louis XIV astonished his court by declaring he would rule alone, without a chief minister, and he maintained this absolute power for the rest of his life. One of Louis XIV's great contributions was building the Great Palace of Versailles, where he brought together all of the aristocrats of France. This strategy was a direct response to the Fronde rebellions and influenced his decision to bring his entire court together where he could keep an eye on them. However, this concentration of power also widened the chasm between the aristocracy and the rest of the country, a divide that would prove catastrophic for their descendants. King Louis XIV had many children, and one of his grandchildren, Philippe, would go on to become King of Spain, establishing a new branch of the Bourbon family. During his reign, the Sun King pushed an aggressive agenda, seeking to expand French territory and establish France as the dominant power in Europe. France's colonial ambitions led to conflicts with rival European countries, particularly Great Britain, as they competed for control of territories and resources in North America, Africa and Asia. In addition, France fought in a series of costly wars during Louis XIV's reign, including the 9 Years' War between 1688 and 1697, which saw fighting across Europe and famously included the Battle of the Boyne in Ireland. Another major conflict was the War of Spanish Succession between 1701 and 1714, which also culminated in battles across Europe, most famously at the Battle of Blenheim. The immense cost of these wars, along with the extravagant expenses of building and maintaining Versailles, began to seriously drain French finances. Louis XIV would die in 1715 after an impressive 72-year reign. However, his ultimate legacy to his heir was one of death, and in our next episode, we will examine the life of King Louis XV.